Spot colors are used in the printing process when you need to ensure that a color will reproduce precisely on press. Often brand colors incorporate spot colors to ensure brand identity. Let's add some spot colors to this file, which is the spotcolors.ai file. So I have the direct selection tool selected, and what I'd like to do is create a couple of spot colors that we can then in turn apply to our artwork. So I'm going to go to the panel menu and I'm going to go down to Open Swatch Library and I'm going to go to Color Books. And inside of this Color Books category, you're going to find a lot of commonly used spot color libraries that are used in the printing process to choose spot colors. And probably one of the most common spot color libraries is the Pantone libraries. Now, Pantone has a number of different libraries to choose from, including pastels, metallics, and so on and so forth. So the two more common libraries you'll be using are the Pantone Plus Solid Coated and the Pantone Plus Solid Uncoated, which really just refers to the type of paper this color is going to be printed on. So I'm going to go to the Pantone Plus Solid Coated, and that's going to open up my Pantone library. Now, you can view these swatches in different ways. If you wanted to, you can view them by a list view, if that makes it a little easier. But I'm going to keep it set to the small thumbnail view because I can simply search for the colors that I'm using. The best way to pick these colors is to purchase a Pantone Plus book that you can have at your desk and look at and pick the color appropriately. So what we're going to do, I want to use Pantone 547. So up here in the Find field, I'm going to type 547, and that's going to filter to only the swatches that have 547 in the name. And you can see I have 7547, 5473, and 5477. But the second one here is 547. So if I click on that, you'll notice that it adds it to my swatches panel, which is exactly what I want. So while we're over here, let's also add 567, and that should be this dark green one right here, so I'll click on that to add it. And then I'm also going to add 185, and that should be this bright red one over here too. So you can see all of those have been added. So I'll go ahead and close this panel. And if you look in your swatches panel again, you'll now notice that some of these swatches have a small dot in the lower right-hand corner. So in addition to the triangle, which indicates that it's a global color, it has a little dot which indicates that it's a spot color. So it's a quick and easy way that you can filter or identify spot colors inside of the swatches panel. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in on this artwork a little bit, and I'm going to click on one of these green tree components, and I'm going to go to Select and choose Same Fill Color, so that all of the green colors are selected. And then I'm going to click on the dark green, the Pantone 567 spot color. And now we have that color applied to all of the trees. And what we can also do is I'm going to scroll down a little bit because we have these shark fins. And I'm going to do Select Same Fill Color. And you'll see it selects the shark fins as well as the whale tail up here. And that we want to make the Pantone 547. So we'll go ahead and click on that, and that will then in turn apply that spot color to the artwork. And I'm going to press Command 0 or Control 0 on Windows so I can see this a little bit better. Now, the thing you want to keep in mind when you're working with spot colors is that it's generally going to add to the cost of the print job. And that's fine, especially if that's what you're going for, if you really want the color to reproduce properly. But what you don't want to do is inadvertently include any spot colors that you don't want to use. So one of the easiest ways to see where your spot colors are being used is to go into the Separations Preview panel. And so I can do that by going to the Window menu. I'm going to go all the way down here to Separations Preview. And that's going to open up this separate panel that appears. I'm just going to open that up. Now you can see that we have all of the process colors, so cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And we also have all of the spot colors because we're always concerned with that. Now, one of the things that we're going to do here is I want to preview how this artwork looks. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on this Overprint Preview checkbox, and that's going to allow me to see all of the spot colors that are being used, and you can turn on and off the different colors to see the effect that it's going to have. But one of the new features in the current version of Illustrator is this checkbox down here, which is turned on by default, but if I turn that off, it's going to show me every spot color that is in my document. But if I just turn on that checkbox, it's only going to show me the spot colors that are being used. And that's really what matters to me from an output perspective, is that I know exactly which spot colors are being used in this project. So it's a great way for you to see the content very easily. And if you wanted to, again, you can turn these on and off, and I can see, okay, all of those components are that blue 547. These components are the green color. And then we've got a couple of components here, looks like in that umbrella, that are these two Toyo colors. So you can decide whether you want to keep those as spot colors or if you want to convert them to process. So we can go ahead and turn CMYK back on. I'm going to turn off Overprint Preview and close the Separations Preview panel. If you do want to convert a current spot color to process, it's truly as easy as coming up here into your swatches panel and double-clicking on one of these swatches. You can see that this currently tells me that it's the book color, but what I can do is I can click on that drop-down and choose CMYK. And then for color type, I would change that to process. And if you wanted to, you could give it a new name. We can click OK. And I might do the same thing to the other color. We'll make that one CMYK and process. And click OK as well. And now you can see those are no longer spot colors. And if we take another quick look in the Separations Preview panel, you can see that none of those Toyo colors are appearing any longer because we're converting them to spot colors. As you've seen, spot colors are certainly not hard to create. It's really a matter of knowing what color you want to use and choosing it from the appropriate library. Do keep in mind that using spot colors in a printed project often adds to the overall cost of the job, but the results will be fantastic.